Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and today I spent some time watching this hearing in front of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and they were kind of grilling Pompeo. Of course, the Democrats were really going for him, but the Republicans were doing some interesting questioning themselves, and this gentleman, Mr. Curtis, was asking him some interesting questions that I thought maybe you'd like to hear, because this has to do with more things than just the budget for the State Department. So I think you'll be interested to hear what he has to say. And then, of course, Pompeo's answers are not surprising, but they are something that I think might be setting things up for some future event. So here's the clip.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Buck. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome back, Secretary Pompeo.
Thank you.
During your training at or during your time at the CIA and at the State Department, did you receive training on how classified information should be handled?
Yes, sir, I did.
Does everyone handling classified information at the State Department receive a briefing or training course on how to handle classified information?
I believe that's correct.
Did this training cover the different designations indicating a document's level of classification?
Anyone who receives a clearance and has access to classified information would receive training on the various levels and how those various levels are required to be handled.
And does a classification marker indicate of TS indicate that it is top secret information contained in that document?
That's what those two letters would normally indicate, yes.
And if it is an S, would it indicate that it is a secret classification?
Also correct.
And if it is a C, would it indicate that it is a classified document?
C typically means confidential. That is the level of classification, but I suppose it could, yes.
Okay,
it typically means confidential. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were taught these designations at the training that you received as Secretary of State?
You know, I know I went through that training as Director of CIA. I don't know that I went through the course again when I became Secretary of State. I may have.
I don't want to suggest something about your age, but were you grandfathered into that as a result?
I don't know. Here's what I'm confident of. If I was required to go through the process, I did.
Okay. Have you ever gone home for the night and left classified documents on your kitchen table?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay. Have you ever left them in your car?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Have you ever taken classified documents home with you and had them outside of your possession?
I have, only because I have a location that I can store classified information in my home.
Okay, so it has.
So they would have been stored in an appropriate location inside the secure facility that is inside of the house in which I live.
And a security official has approved that as a secure location.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a private server in your home?
No, I do not.
And if you had left classified information in your car, or if you left it in your home outside of the private area, would that be a violation of the training that you would receive about how to handle classified information?
Any time that classified information is not stored in an appropriately approved facility or is outside of the control of the vendor to whom that information has been provided, whether that's written or even if one speaks about it, lets it out orally, yes, that is inconsistent with the requirements.
Okay. Could you be prosecuted for receiving information outside of a secure or sending information outside of a secure location or email serving a non-classified email server?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, you are also a lawyer. Is that correct?
I'm not certified to practice anywhere today, but yes, at one point I went to law school and I used to have a bar registration.
And as a lawyer, you have heard of the term circumstantial evidence.
I have.
And would it be considered circumstantial evidence of guilt for someone to take evidence of a crime and destroy that evidence?
It might well be.
Okay. I have no further questions, and I yield back.
So there it is. Yeah, I think maybe that's just kind of preparing the soil for some future plant that's going to grow quickly and take over our event schedule, or maybe just the news cycle that seems to be missing something important these days. Oh, so I heard that MSNBC and CNN had some really serious ratings issues as soon as Mueller's report came out, and then Barr gave his letter telling what was in it. So that's very interesting. And I think that the questioning that was asked here was purposely done in order to set up the foundation for what's to come. It was just kind of out of the blue as I was watching this, because that line of questioning wasn't following with a lot of the other things that were being asked. But it was just very interesting. And I have to tell you that the more I see this man, the more I think that this was one of the best picks Trump had. I mean, this guy is so smart that he could handle all of their questions as they were throwing them to him. And I mean, he didn't have to refer to his papers very much at all. And he knew he was right on it. Everything that they were asking. There was one lady who was trying to throw him off and to say he didn't know something about a certain program, but the problem was that program was really being handled by the DHS. So it really wasn't State Department stuff, although it was kind of being transferred over to State Department. So he didn't know as much about that one, and she tried to make it sound like he was an idiot and he didn't know anything. But I'll tell you what, if you listen to him, I didn't hear the first part of it, and I haven't gone back to watch it. It's just been such a busy day. But I watched probably the second half of it, and I will tell you that he knows his stuff. This man is extremely smart. He knows what he's doing, and he is 100% with Trump. Whatever direction Trump is going, he's going to be right in there supporting him. And for me, I think that raises a level of confidence in him. And so when we hear Q saying trust Kansas, I do. I trust this guy. I think he really does have our best interests at heart, and it's been so long since we had a Secretary of State that actually did that. This is refreshing. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you. I thought it was interesting line of questioning. I thought you might want to see it, and probably you don't have time to watch the entire hearing. It did go on for a long time. So anyway, that's what I've got for you tonight. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.